Guys, this is David Menjura here with Transform Sauce Podcast. I'll be your host today. We currently have an invitee or a guest who is Usman, our founder of xiQ. Today, the topic will be how does xiQ support large enterprise B2B sales reps on getting their job done. So, Usman, thank you for being here. Thank you for spending the time with us. So feel free to introduce yourself and share us what you're going to share with us today.
Thank you so much. Good to be here, Dave. My name is Usman Sheikh. I am the CEO of a company called xiQ, and we are an AI powered revenue growth engine. Our headquarters is based in Redwood City, California, which is right in the heart of the Silicon Valley.
All right, thanks for sharing. And who is your ideal customer at the moment?
So, our platform is designed for companies that are either in the large enterprise business to business sales or companies that are selling into these large enterprises. And the distinction over here is that these companies have long sales cycles, they're large ticket items that they're selling, there's multiple decision makers that are involved, and they're genuinely complex decisions that people are making, which are multi-million, multi-billion dollar type of transactions. And therefore, there's a lot of balls that salespeople have to juggle, and our platform helps them cover the full funnel of the B2B sales and marketing cycle.
Got it. So what you guys pretty much do is make sure that no opportunity gets slipped and is backed up by AI to make sure that those long sales cycles are being able to meet the expectations and everybody's well informed on what part of the process they're in. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I'd just like to double click on that well informed part. I think that's a very, very important part today. Sales reps spend less than 28% of their time on customer facing activities, right? The rest of the
Yep.
time is in either admin tasks, doing research, preparing to write emails, learning the multiple tools they have to use to get their job done. And that's really very little time that a sales rep has. So, our job, our platform's role is to help the seller understand their prospective buyer as an individual, as a company, as an industry, and reduce that whole research and understanding time from days and hours to seconds. And by doing so, we help them reclaim a lot of their time that they could be customer facing. And by doing so, they improve the opportunities that they have of closing more deals in the same amount of time.
Got it. So what I'm hearing is that you're not only supporting, but in this case, you're also making sure that social selling portion of it is also easier because they have more time for themselves, right?
That is correct. And not only social selling, but also humanizing that interaction. How many times have you seen those cookie cutter, one size fit all emails come your way? And with xiQ, we can help you customize, custom tailor that that communication and that presentation down to the individual level that you're going to be talking to. And I'll be showing that a little bit later as to how we use behavioral science to understand the mindset of your prospective buyer so you can then come up with a custom tailored sales strategy for them.
That sounds like a no-brainer. I'm definitely excited to share that. And those who are listening and will be staying till the end of this video will get massive value. But I did wanted to ask you a question. What category do you guys fall into at the moment?
So we are a B2B sales and marketing platform. So sales and marketing platform, we would also be a SaaS computer software platform. So broadly speaking, computer software, which is designed for sellers and marketeers. Sales
Awesome.
intelligence, sales enablement. We combine a lot of different categories in one platform, actually.
All right, thanks for sharing that. And what does your software help users do that they couldn't do before your software existed?
Yeah, so one thing that it helps you do is move away from that one size fit all kind of approach. And the way we do this, which sellers are not able to do in a mass way without our software today, is, as I said, help you understand the mindset of the buyer. So we pick up individuals' digital signatures, whether that be on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, on the internet, anybody that has a footprint on the internet, we can interpret that and predict a personality using behavioral science. And that basically kicks off the whole process of being able to custom tailor the approach, how you write emails, how you write those social posts that you're going to put up, how you do presentations, how you sell to them. All of that is governed by the fact as to who you're talking to and how you should talk to them. This is something sellers have not been able to do. It's been very intuitively driven in the past. And so they have not been able to do that. And still, without the help of our platform, it is very difficult for them to do something along these lines.
No, thanks for sharing that. And this is one story from my end, right? What I felt in my previous roles is sometimes companies, when you're setting up certain activities, sometimes you sound the same, but sometimes you really don't sound the same and you have to start everything from scratch. So I feel like having a tool that keeps the essence of how you sell, how you communicate with your buyers. And I often see that companies are always doing their retargeting every time they do a campaign. You're supposed to always stick to the same ICP for all of the campaigns you're trying to execute, right? Because that will make the process more scalable. So for me, this sounds like a no brainer. For us, we can even use it for the fact that all the campaigns are specific to our niche, the way we speak to them, and it also helps us, uncover the rest of the pain points that we can also discover as we interact with these buyers, right? So thanks for sharing that. And what is the best way for users to measure success with your software tool?
Yeah, so we talk about the main primary indicator is win rates. Are you
Okay.
able to close more deals using our platform than you were before? So that's a big thing. Other indicators of success are engagement. So people that have used our tool have gotten a 48% higher engagement on their emails and on their click throughs than they were before. The win rate ratio, we've got customers who've done A B testing using our platform versus others. And when they have used xiQ as a platform, those sellers have gotten a 4 times higher win rate than that. Yet another measure is that since we combine marketing, sales capabilities in one platform and it's fully integrated, we lower your total cost of operations by 97%. And I'll be illustrating some of the roles that our platform can help these B2B sales reps accomplish without having to jump from one platform to the other.
Perfect. No, I think that's something that I definitely very excited to jump into, right? Because we want to know exactly how we can benefit of these tools. For those that already have a great approach, is what other things they could come up with that will also complement their efforts and get more results, right? So I think I'm ready to jump into the screen sharing so that we can get an idea of who is this best suited for, and give us a quick example of how I will use this on a daily basis, right?
Yeah. So are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if you look at what B2B sales reps have to do today, they wear about 4 hats at least, right? So on the one hand, they're researchers and analysts. They are constantly looking for news. They're constantly looking for ways to break into new accounts and into new prospects, connect with them. So spend an inordinate amount of time looking for information. Um, Second thing, they have to be able to then identify what are some of the challenges, pain points, and opportunities of their prospects at the company level, but also at the individual level. Because, Dave, at the end of the day, we are selling to people, and we have to be able to craft our story around what's in it for them at a personal and a professional level. And so, what our platform does is it's able to identify those pain points both at the individual and the company level. But because we have the ability to bring in your corporate collateral, we can also map your solutions. And salespeople struggle with this, identifying pain points and challenges on the one hand, and on the other hand, identifying which of their solutions is going to be the most optimal value creator for their prospects. Thirdly, we have to write emails. We have to be able to communicate. So we almost wear that copywriter hat as well. And that's a struggle for anybody, even the best of us. In order to write a good email, doing research, finding out who the person is, what's happening in their company, and then coming up and crafting an email to match that takes a lot of time, at least 45 minutes, if not more. And xiQ, as you'll see, can reduce that. And lastly, we have to constantly update our team members, our Our organizations put in strategy plans, account plans, and that's the role of a sales assistant. And with xiQ, we've created this AI powered agent, and we call him Gilroy. And Gilroy works as a research analyst. It can analyze people, industry, and competitor insights in seconds. It can go to every nook and corner of the internet in seconds, bring that information back. It can read your customers' pain points and map your solutions. It can write PhD level English crafted, or actually now in 144 different languages. It can write out these emails and takes you beyond that writer's block that we're already struggling, and do that in seconds. And lastly, it can help you build account plans, social media posts, blogs, and emails, all in a matter of seconds. And by doing so, as I said, 4x higher win rates, 48% higher engagement, 98% higher um, and then lower the cost by 97%. So, if it's okay with you, what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you what the platform actually looks like. Are you
Sounds
still
good.
able to see my screen?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the homepage of our desktop version. It's called the xiQ Sales Accelerator. It's designed for those B2B sellers. And right off the bat, what you see on the home screen is Gilroy. And Gilroy, if anybody has used ChatGPT, is like one of those agents, except that the databases it's tapping into are those around the personality of the individual. I'll show you that. It also has a very comprehensive database of company, their financials, their SWOT analysis, what the executive staff are talking about, what's in the news about the company. All that information is one location, so you don't have to run around looking for that information. And the platform is catered in such a way that every sales rep follows a number of companies or subscribes to a number of companies, and they can they can then track and get alerts on their companies. One of the first things I'm going to do is, Dave, I'm going to look you up. So I typed in your name into the search bar over here, and in my
Awesome.
search results, Dave, there you are. You show up right here. So I'm going to click in on your name, and here I see that personality insight on that. So if you're not familiar with DISC
I
is
am.
something you are, but for your
Yeah.
audience, right, it's like a Myers Briggs. It tells you about four different personality types: the dominant, influencing, steady, and conscientious. And what xiQ has done is it has basically taken all your digital breadcrumbs, and you have a lot because you're a podcaster, but everyone has a lot. As long as you have, for example, even a public LinkedIn profile, we can pull that information, and you can get a lot of insights on that, like what are some of the qualities, what are their behavior, what motivates that
Wow.
person, how to build trust with them, how to communicate with them, emailing, and then working together with them, and then eventually selling. Now, that's a lot of information for anyone to consume. So, the point I wanted to highlight by showing you this is that we have this information, but there is a shortcut to getting this information. The second thing that I will highlight is the alignment between myself and you. I'm a driver personality. I fall into the red and a little bit into the blue side of things. You are an influencer, more following into the persuasion side of the personality type. It even gives me some tips as to how I could improve my communication and my meeting with you, and then how to work with Dave. And as I said, this is a lot of information. So what we do is we turn to Gilroy. And what I did with Gilroy is I put a prompt. And one of the great things about Gilroy is that it has a prompt library. And what it does is, if you've used ChatGPT, you know that it's the quality of the prompt that gives the quality of the results.
One
We
thousand
don't want,
percent.
yeah, we don't want salespeople to become prompt engineers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want them to use this technology. So we've created this library, and here are, for example, a lot of those different prompts. All you need to do is drop in the name of a person or a company, and voila, you know, you have the response. So I asked, remember I said I want to really personalize it. So my first
Yep.
question was, what are the biggest personal opportunities for Dave to succeed within Cloud Task? And here, based on your track record, based on what you're writing about, based on your personality, tells me these are some of the areas where you would potentially grow. right? And for somebody like me who doesn't know you, this is a wealth, it's a gold mine of information. Now, if I knew you, of course, I understand those things. But
Yeah.
remember, you're selling to a lot of people. Some of these people you're never going to meet, right? So I was able to go in and ask my basic question, and within 3 seconds, it gave me that answer, right? My next question was to help me align the benefits of my solution, Sales Accelerator, with the work experience of Dave and come up with an optimized sales page. So here it
Wow.
is. It's telling me what are your key areas of experience and how it could help you improve. So these are the features within xiQ, and it's even giving me a pitch. Dave, given your experience in driving demands, think in terms of sales development reps,
Yeah.
think in terms of account executives, think in terms of VPs of sales. It's now starting to give me point by point a pitch. And not only does it give me a point by point pitch, at the end, it kind of summarizes it as well, right? So think about how quickly I have jumped from not knowing you into finding out what are your personal growth opportunities and then being able to map how xiQ can help you. And so, um, how does it do that? How does it know what xiQ is going to do? It goes into Document Hub. So, Document Hub is where we will upload our content. So I've uploaded content, and our customers upload their, you know, case studies, product literature, things along those lines, and all of that is available over here. But the magic of xiQ is that it takes your simple PDF document and it vectorizes it. What is vectorization? All these text words become have a numerical value, and large language models can read that value. So now what I've shown you is I've shown you the personality piece, which our good friend Gilroy can read up on, and I have shown you my own collateral. The third part of the puzzle is I want to understand a particular company I'm going to be selling to. So let's take Canon, for example, right? This is a company we're selling. And in xiQ, we have a page dedicated to the company. I'll simply type in the name of the company over here. Everything I wanted to find out about the company is here. Their financials are here, their share price is here, about the company is here, their executive staff are here, who are their key competitors here. But now look at what it's doing. It's starting to
Hmm.
create a SWOT analysis. Now, Dave, as you know, every good sales rep needs to know what are the strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats at their client,
100%.
right? How
Yeah.
difficult is it? How time consuming is it? And how
Oh, and
expensive,
how many people it will require to get this information,
or
right?
know
Is
how to get this information,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
100%.
So xiq has already done that. Not only has it done that, it's updating this on a monthly basis. So if a particular company has an acquisition and so on, within a month this will show up. Now, traditional SWOT analysis that you would pay tens of thousands of dollars to buy would be frozen in time, right? They will be linked to an annual report that could be 8 or 9 or 10, 12 months old, right? In
100%.
xiq, we're bringing that up to speed. Now, all of this information that's here, I can double click, ask Gilroy to give me a lot more details, and he'll find that for me. I can also go into, sorry, I can also go into sales triggers, and this is all the news that's related to a company. Not only is there all the news, I can filter it down into
Oh
25
wow.
different categories. So I can cut the signal to noise ratio. I can unselect that and I can say, show me AI, show me where the sea level is and who are the sea level in the news. And it will streamline that information and bring that information to me. Now,
Oh wow.
here's a game changer. Think about it. I can take this information. You know how salespeople are always looking at LinkedIn Navigator, liking
Hmm.
people, sharing information. And this value of that is not premium. It's secondary value because I'm liking your content. I'm helping you grow your social influence. Now I can simply go in here and I can say, look, I want to put this on LinkedIn. And right there, it helps me create a LinkedIn post. I can Again, have asked Gilroy to
Wow.
help me write this, and I can post it.
Yeah.
And I have up to the minute information on this. And by doing so, I have now become an original thought leader by sharing this content, right?
Yep.
I can look at the staff, who are the executives within the company. Each one of them has that color halo telling me what their personality type is. I can also look at the financials without having to jump over to see annual reports and so on. And here's a link to their annual report, to their 10Q filings. These are the key indicators on their business.
Mhm.
I can see all the videos without having to go to YouTube and find out what's happening at Canon. I can find out who their competitors are. All that information is available in one location. But
Wow.
again, think about it. Who has the
It's mind
time?
blowing.
Right? Who has the time?
Yeah.
So I simply go into my good friend Gilroy. What are the revenue growth challenges at Canon? And here's telling me market saturation, supply chain disruptions, high dependence on traditional imaging product, innovation challenges, and so on and so forth. That's great. I know that information. But now it starts bringing all those pieces together. Remember, we had the documents loaded up around my
Yep.
solution. I'm going to ask you the next question, which is how can xiQ's sales accelerator help overcome its sales challenges? And there you go. This is the challenge. This is the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Challenge. So now it's wearing the hat of that solution engineer. And it's done
Solution
that
engineer.
in
Yeah.
seconds, right? It's done that in seconds. And it's put that all together for me. Um, Yet another value add of this is that I can build these buyer groups and I can find out who the people are I'm talking to. I can simply add them to a buyer group and they already fall
Mhm.
into doers, coaches, and blockers. And let's say I have a meeting with Mirsalova and I think she's actually quite helpful. So I'm going to drag her across
Mhm.
into a coach category. I can drag her across and I can say, had a great meeting and she will help us navigate the buying process. Done. I put a note on that and I've moved her and it's telling me there's a note over here and I now want to share this with my team. So I can now go in and share it with Adam Smith in my team. For example, say, Adam,
Mhm.
check it out. This is what's happening. So now this buyer group is collaborative environment because there's, large enterprise sales. My VP might be meeting somebody at that company. My pre-sales person might be meeting them. You know, my industry expert might be meeting them. They can bring all that information over here and I can see who those prospective buyers are, right? um, I've got those challenges, and then to bring it all together, I can see, I can create a account plan. An account plan is this PowerPoint document that I've created around this, and here it is. And again, in minutes, it created an account plan telling me, how that company is doing. These on the table of contents, this is all that's included in there. It's giving me an account overview of the company. It's telling me what is their financial analysis. Again, sales reps are not financial analysts, but they need to know this information. So what
Of
we've done
course.
is we've kind of analyzed it and giving you a little summary in simple terms so I can now understand what their balance sheet looks like and what it means, right? What are some of their threats? I can also go look at some of their business segments where they're making their money. This is coming from their annual reports. I can also look at insights, what's happening within the company, what are the risks to their business.
No, husband, and one thing that this definitely jumps in my how do I say this? I would say is when when you're involved as a enterprise sales rep and you have so much information, you switch the mindset from just selling a service for me to really understand where my solution stands and actually make an impact for the company, right?
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. People are not taking calls from salespeople. People are taking calls from people that can help me, the buyer,
mhm,
move the bar in my company. So if you come and start
correct,
selling me features and functions, you're not going to get anywhere. But if I
hundred
tell
percent.
you that, hey, Mr. Cannon, maybe you should start looking at vectorization as a new process. They're like, how did you know that? Well, I have done my research. AI is coming, large language models work on that. You have content repositories. Converting them into vectorized documents can be really helpful.
Hmm.
Now I'm standing out from the 100 other guys that are competing for their business because I've given them an idea. How did I get that idea? Through this tool. And I got it without really spending too much time, right? In seconds. So I was able to shave off a lot of time and bring it up. And not only that, this document is not something that I want to consume in a few minutes. This is my sales strategy. It's telling me
Yep.
what's
Hundred
happening
percent.
in the competitive landscape. Here's my SWOT in that. Here's my revenue growth opportunities. How can this company actually grow? And look, I can take this information in bits and chunks and I can start talking about how xiQ can now help you. Can in alignment with xiQ, this is how we will help you. So it's taking it the full. I now have a comprehensive business understanding. And remember, this English is not very complex. It's not like paragraphs and pages. It's little bullet points. That's what
Besides,
people it's consumable, right?
absolutely.
There's even a business case it's written out. This is how you can potentially position yourself, right?
This is
Um,
literally creating a playbook in seconds. What
playbook.
would usually it would usually take months. Like I remember being in companies where it would take 2 months just to get enough information to get somebody on board. But now it's like I'm super informed. I know how to build content around this. I know who is my actual the people that I'm actually speaking with. But
Yeah.
with this, I wanted to ask you two questions. So when it comes to the disc profiling, right?
Yeah.
How how much information does the LinkedIn has to have in order for that information to be accurate, right?
Yeah. Very
Or
little. So it could be as little as just your previous jobs and a couple of sentences of what you've written
okay,
out. It can be as little as that. There will be a confidence level that we provide with the disk as well. The confidence level, of course, if there's more information, will be higher in the prediction
got it,
and less so if the person is. But it's not based on your post, it's based on the words you've used to describe yourself on your
got it,
LinkedIn profile, right? For example,
got it.
right?
Yeah, because I remember a few years back, I took the this profiling and I had both the D and the I, and they told me that was very rare, right? Because I can play a role as a leader, but I can also do the job of a normal as an SDR, as an account executive. I'm very hybrid, and I saw that with most of the job I always done for the past 7 years. So seeing that it also picked up one of those traits where you did the analysis is very interesting because a lot of SDRs they don't even evaluate themselves. How can people talk to me better? How can I approach other people better? Right. And you've seen it. There's some profiles that sometimes might not be the best ones to match, but there's ways to communicate. There's different channels that we can use nowadays to get the message across, regardless of the personality. And what I like a lot is that when you're grouping the buyer personas, it's still respecting the personality traits, right? Because sometimes we feel that if they go higher in the buyer persona, they're gonna change the way they speak. They still the same person, right?
That is
So
correct.
that's one thing I seen in the industry, and I feel like this brings it back, right? This is very important.
It takes you from that one size fit all approach to a much more customized, individualized approach, which is all we all love. We have that in our consumer life persona, right? When I go
Hmm.
order my pizza or I go to Netflix or I, um, you know, even my airlines, they have preferences. They have my preferences, they know, and they custom tailor things to me. Why don't I have it in my B2B, right? Why
Exactly.
should I miss out on that level of customization and personalization? And here it is. And just quickly lining this off, it has also built an alignment between myself and those particular buyers that it selected, and it's given me a high, medium, low in terms of how I would be getting along with them, and
Wow.
it tells me even icebreakers. Look, this is how you will be best able to start a conversation with them. Now, and those are these people. There's a lot of people over here in this buyer group. There's at least 18, 20 people over here. That's really the number of people that are involved in
Hmm.
the buying group. um, I just want to show you two more things on this. Let
Sure.
me see how I go out of here. And let me just get out of this. And where is my? I'm sorry. Well, maybe. Um, I'll just. Are you still seeing my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. So
No
I'm
worries.
trying. I'm trying to get out of this, but I don't know what is going on over here. So let me just do that. Uh, Sorry, let me escape out of this. And I'm trying to find my toolbar, but I think my toolbar is there. It is. Okay, so that's around the seller's side of the equation, and I want to
Hmm.
jump in, and I also want to show you that in xiQ, demand generation, increasingly B2B sellers are asked to generate their own leads, and a great way of doing that is to be able to create these news digests. This is like a newsletter, but it
Yep.
has news that would be, you can make it on cybersecurity, AI, just about any topic. And the way this works is that you enter a few uh, key search terms into your tool, and it brings it these articles. And um, and and let me see, where would it be? It brings these articles, and I can very quickly generate a newsletter, start sending it out. Again, it's not very pushy. There we go. It's not very pushy, and it's basically doing it on this basis. These are my search terms I put in. um, and there, those are my search terms. These are topics that would be of interest or I want to talk about. It's bring these
Hmm.
articles. I can simply drag and drop them into a little template. I can preview that, and I can send it out. And here's
And these
another.
are curated articles, or is also articles outside?
It's articles outside and your own. It can mix
Ah,
both
okay,
of them up,
perfect,
right?
perfect. Yeah.
And then I have the ability to go in and look at my analytics around here, and I can see who's opening my content down at the person level. I can click in, everything has a lead score already built into that, and I
Awesome.
can see individuals that are coming in. I can see what they've been looking at, what are some of the keywords. And to bring it all full circle, I'm ready to engage with Rick Hawk. I click on the sales navigator link, and again, without having to jump anywhere, I'm back
Hmm.
there. Use my Gilroy. Let's do a little email. Here's my library. I can now use that prompt to start writing emails even to this person, right? Right from here. So I can say uh, 3 emails, right? On sell them, sales XIQs, sales accelerator, right? And this is really live. This is happening live. It's creating a sequence of 3 convincing emails to schedule a meeting with Rick to learn about xiQ Sales Accelerator. And live, there it is. First email with a subject line, second email, and third email,
Yeah.
right?
The amount of time you're reducing with everything all in one. Like I'll give you an example, right? For I seen companies that are leveraging Clay, right? So they use Sales Navigator, then they send the information to Clay, then they set APIs to put Chat GPT, then they get notifications, and then it creates a documentation on your Google Doc. Having all of that in one within seconds is just defeating all those competitors when it comes to this, right?
So
I feel like
one
this is
one thing is
super
to
powerful.
be one thing is that it's all disparate, which means cost, by the way, also cost
Yeah.
in terms of dollars, cost in
Yeah.
terms of time. Okay. But the second part is how many people know that you have to jump through those hoops to get to what you want to get to? 0.01% maybe, right?
Yeah.
This is intuitive. It's already got those things built out. You simply click, click, add, and you keep getting these outputs in seconds. And you know what they say, Dave? 50% of B2B deals are won by those sales reps that are the first to respond or early responders to their customers' needs. And if you
100%.
can come with quality information as the first person to respond to them, voila, you have a deal.
You're gonna win. You're
You're
gonna
going to
win.
win. Yeah.
No, and there's a course that I took from Samantha McKenna that speaks about this, right? Is show me you know me. Show me you know exactly who you're talking to me and you understand my needs. And adding that to the SWOT analysis, I also did a course with Partnernomics. And the importance of knowing that, it just puts you in an advantage, because as the more you're relevant to the person, the more vulnerable they become and the more they open up to their problems.
Yeah.
Once is relevant, it's just you automatically stand out among all the people that are reaching out to them and getting stuck in their emails, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. So that's
this is
how
great.
we are using AI to disrupt and change the B2B sales and marketing game.
Oh, this is great. Osman, I do want to thank you for taking the time to show us. For those that are enterprise B2B sales reps, this is the tool. This is your go to tool to make sure you get the research done, to make sure you do the proper prospecting, and always having the bot, which is going to be your ally to get all that information that you probably missed on, right? But I
Yeah.
do want to thank you, Osman, for being here. Thank you for being the host and the Sales Software Review session of the Transform Sales podcast. Um, for those that are listening and those that want to take advantage of this tool to make your outbound into a powerhouse, this is the right place to go. We'll have this listing in the description so that you can take advantage, learn something, and ask us questions. And thank you very much for having us.